teaser for the GAA Cúl Camps and then bring Charles Harrison up onto our virtual stage.
So, Connor, how was your first day at Cúl Camps?
Join your local Kellogg's GAA Cúl Camps this summer.
Where do we use the lock position?
You'll get free GAA gear and a backpack too. See special packs of Kellogg's for details. Register online now.
Okay, so that was the little teaser for the Cúl Camps back in 2020. And I'm delighted to welcome Charles Harrison live from Croke Park in one shape, form or another. You're very welcome to Sport for Business, Charles. Sorry, you're just on mute there.
There we go. Sorry, Rob. Thanks a million and thanks for having me.
No, absolute pleasure. Just as much of a pleasure for me as it is for the thousands, tens of thousands of kids that have been parading up and down on pitches all over the course of the summer. Tell us a little about what this year was like. We don't need to know the technicals of all of the COVID protocols. We can be assured that they were all very good. But what was the level of enthusiasm like for kids who have been locked up for too long?
Yeah, Rob, it's something that we've never experienced before. The feedback that we were getting from parents, especially, I suppose, in 2020, we surveyed about 10,000 parents that sent their kids to our camps last year. We're currently conducting a survey with them this year, but the evidence that we would have received back from parents was one of relief, that their children were able to get back to some sort of normality, get back playing games, get back participating in physical activity, getting back into the social setting, and getting back talking to their friends in a physical form, which I think is very important. And the last 18 months has been particularly difficult for the 6 to 13 age group, which what we are catering for. And we saw a massive demand for our camps. Unfortunately, we weren't able to cater for everyone, but everyone that attended our camps were really, really happy to see their kids back participating in physical activity.
It goes way beyond the kids themselves as well. I know in our club it engages sort of students and young players in getting involved in coaching for the first time, and the ecosystem that surrounds it is just full of positivity. Never mind the fact that every school bag on its way to the streets of Leitrim, Kerry, Dublin, Wicklow, Wexford and Longford and everywhere in between seems to have a Kellogg's GAA Cúl Camp badge on the back of it. Where did it come from initially? Because we see it now as being a juggernaut of tens of thousands of kids, of thousands of GAA clubs all participating in it around the country in every parish. But where did it come from in the original stage?
Yeah, so I suppose I would have talked to the previous director of games development, Pat Daly, about this in detail. In 1988, I suppose maybe the association got a little bit afraid because the Irish soccer team got into a tournament there in the European Championships. And so we were, the association decided to say, okay, what can we do about this? So we decided to come up with, let's say, camps as an idea. So it started off then, and I suppose not only that we didn't want to, we wanted to open up our games to participants that were our own members, and also to maybe families that would not have been within the GA family, and to make it as welcoming as possible. So it started off then, and I suppose it grew and grew and grew. Camps then became quite big during the 90s. They became kind of a provincial type setting. And then in 2006, the association decided to make it into a national program. The VHI came in and sponsored it then in 2006. So in 2006, we'd 727 camps and 60,000 participants. And that's grown and grown. Then Kellogg's came in 2012. And 2012, we had about 80,000 participants, and that our biggest year then, I suppose, in 2019, where we'd 1,250 camps with over 150,000 participants taking part within the association. And I suppose it's very important for us, Rob, and I suppose Izzy and Emma and Roisin went on about how important it is to create that kind of friendly environment for children to participate in. So we work very hard on that, and to ensure that it's the overarching premise is fun, and for kids to be in a fun, safe environment. And that's what we try and create in all our Cúl Camps.
We'll see with those little vox pops of kids that will play out now in a short while, that fun definitely features. But it's a broad consensus. Like, there are kids in there who just want to be competitive and who want to win and who want to play hard. But for the most part, it's fun and friendship. Those are the two things that come about. It is a great promotional vehicle for the sport as well. I mean, you're the biggest kid on the in the playground, but Bank of Ireland support the rugby summer camps across Leinster, Munster, Connacht and Ulster. You've got the Aviva Soccer Sisters catering for the girls. You've got Spa kids camps in the schools and things like that. There's a lot of competition out there. How important, wearing my hat as a sport for business, how important is the Kellogg's partnership? Because we saw on the ad, putting Gaelic games onto television advertising, and more importantly, putting it onto the shelves in pack promotion. How important is that in terms of maintaining the presence of the sport in kids' eyes?
Yeah, well, listen, there's cereal packs on every single breakfast table, and it's probably going to be a Kellogg's one. So we don't underestimate the value of that. And our presence on the back of the cereal pack is very important to us. And our relationship with Kellogg's has been very good and very strong. Now, in saying that, with our survey that I spoke about earlier on, we ask parents, where do they actually see and where do they hear about the Kellogg's GAA Cúl Camps? And it seems to be through a word of mouth and from parent to parent, where seems to be 90% of where people hear about us. So we've been, as you said, we've been on the block for quite a number of years, so we're well established. And that brand, the Kellogg's GAA Cúl Camp, seems to be one that people associate kind of safe, fun environment for their children. I suppose it's hard to quantify the importance of Kellogg's to the program, but we can, with our TV programs, our social media, advertising, we have a well-rounded program there that we try and get our message out there to as many people as possible. So we won't underestimate the value that Kellogg's bring to the actual program.
And vice versa as well. It's a two-way street, that world of partnership. Can I come back to the last couple of years and the COVID, the challenges that we faced, in particular with gathering kids and groups of people together. One of the key elements, I'm sure, of the popularity is the gear. It's the T-shirts, it's the bags. All of that stuff has to be ordered way in advance. How did that work in 2020 when we had very little idea about what way things were going to go, right up until the point where it was allowed in the course of the summer?
Yeah, well, you might find this hard to believe, Rob, but we've picked our very new and exciting kit for 2022 already, and we're in the process of organizing it, getting it manufactured for 2022. So it really posed a lot of difficulties for us, and it's been well documented that we had to supply the same kit in 2021 as 2020. And unfortunately, that was because we pre-ordered pre-COVID. So we had a lot of kit and we didn't want any waste. So we were very, the kids, as you rightly say, and parents see a lot of value in the cost of the camp, and what the backpacks, they can double up as school bags, and, the zip tops, you can see them in the winter and all that. So the value of them is unprecedented, and the kids see it as nearly a rite of passage to have that kit. So we did have to use the same kit in 2021 2021 as 2020, which we weren't happy about. But unfortunately, through the business model, we had to use those kits.
It is a very vivid colour that you landed on for 2020 anyway. So when I go out and buy mine and the kids' Dublin GAA jerseys, or you see all of the Leinster jerseys or the Liverpool ones, they last for 2 or 3 years as well before they change the design. So I wouldn't be too worried about that. The numbers that we got away in 20 and 21, how did they compare to what you would expect in a normal year? Were clubs as enthusiastic to do it, even though the responsibilities were a lot harder?
Yeah, well, we are a volunteer-led organization, so we are very much dependent on clubs coming on board with us, because we've a mix of our full-time staff and volunteers running each camp and within each county. So in 2020 it was very difficult. So we were probably down to half of the number of participants, and probably just a little bit more than half of the clubs that we would have expected in a normal year. Now, last year, we were right up to the normal amount of camps that we would expect in a normal year, but COVID restrictions and sticking to government guidelines, we capped all our camps specific to the facilities at hand, specific to the COVID-19 regulations that the government would outline, and also our GAA COVID advisory group. And it's been a very difficult couple of years, Rob, trying to get those, tick all those boxes and to ensure that the safety of our staff, our participants, was paramount during that time. But yeah, I suppose to answer your question, clubs weren't as quick to jump on board in 2020, but as soon as the government came out and said things were getting better in 2021, we saw an upsurge in people wanting to host their Cúl Camps.
I think in our club it sold out within 12 minutes of going online for the registration. So we're all familiar with the pods of 15 and the Firan.ie, which has become our go-to website and go-to app on the phone. You spoke about the survey and you spoke about listening to the parents, and clearly you, through the coaches, listen to the kids when they're out there. How does the development of the program change from year to year now that we're hopefully back onto an even keel again? Like, do you take on board what the kids are saying, what the parents are saying, and what the coaches are spotting, and actually change it at a national level on an annual basis? Or is it a slower moving process than that?
No, it's definitely, we try and get out and talk to the parents as much as we can. We try and understand their needs. I'm just finishing up our provincial visits, talking to all our provincial games managers to see what their understanding is of the project. We talk to the coaches as well. We survey the coaches to see what their needs are. And I suppose anecdotally, you get the needs of the children as well. So each iteration, we try and change it year on year. And I think it's very important for us to do that, because the needs of the child, the needs of the parent are changing so quickly now, even, with people working from home, all of that, the kit that, parents might need, the kids, the activities that we actually set out for children in our Cúl Camps, they're all very important elements, and I suppose hopefully is what makes the success of the Cúl Camps that it has been in the past.
Great. Before I let you go, is there any chance you can give me a hint as to what the primary colour of next year's design is going to be?
Well, listen, if I told you, Rob, I might have to kill you. All I could say is
it's always worth a try, but it will be exciting, and I look forward to hosting a fashion show on Sport for Business when that is unveiled and when it is announced. It has been a pleasure sending my kids to the Cúl Camps all down the years, as well as the other sporting camps that we do. And thank you for the work that the GAA puts into making sure that they happen. It's been a pleasure chatting to you this morning, Charles Harrison from the GAA. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Rob. Thank you.